Hey everybody, Marshall. Hope everybody's doing all right tonight. Of course, I'm saying this at the beginning. There's nobody in here yet, but we'll wait and see. Wait and see if anybody's going to get on and talk about RC tonight, or if we're going to talk fishing. Normally, I start up about 8 o'clock on these chats, but I said on my last video, I told people it was going to be between 8 and 8:30 when I do these. Like I said, we get on here, we talk about fishing. We get on here, we talk about RC. Or if people get on here and want to talk gaming, they discuss that. Just depends on what people are in the mood for. Mostly it's RC and fishing. Yeah, congrats. What's up, brother? Doing all right? I got to go check out your latest video that you just uploaded. I haven't had a chance to catch it yet. I got an email that you had posted one. Was good. I got an email that you had just recently posted a new video, or just uploaded one, and I've got to go. I got to go check that one out. I got it today, and I've been looking. Living room air conditioner. It got to where it was spitting water out last summer out the sides of it real bad. I didn't notice it in the beginning, and some of the moisture got on one of my shelves, mildewed the shelf, rotted it. I had to throw that thing away, and I'm afraid if I take it out and clean it, that's not the problem. It's just about gone or something. So I got to get me another air conditioner, and I've been online looking at different sites. I downloaded the Honey app, I downloaded WikiBuy, a couple apps like that to try to save some money. And I've been looking all over the place. I've probably been on like 9 different sites today trying to get a decent price on one. At least close to what was in the window. What was in the window? Well, they actually didn't have it in the window. They cut a section of the wall out and put it sticking out the wall and mounted in there like that, and then trimmed it around with wood and everything so it would stay in place real good. So part of me says I don't even want to pull that one out because my luck, the one I buy, is not going to be the same size, and I'm either going to have to fill in the hole or cut it bigger. Part of me says just get one of the floor models. I found me a couple 12s I'm looking at. Part of me says just get one of those, mount it in the floor, set it in the floor, run it out one of the windows just during the summertime, and then close the window up during the winter and roll it out of the way into a closet or something, or just put it over in the corner during the wintertime. But I haven't decided yet. Right now, my top contenders are Amazon and Overstock.com. What's up, guy? Doing all right? I don't know, man. If you saw this monster, the way it's put through the wall, that's a lot of deconstruction work's got to be done to even get it out. You've got to tear out wood framing around it. Then you got to tear out another section of wood and try to get it to come back out into the house. And then you got to go outside, and we don't have a hose pipe hook up here. So I'm going to end up having to put it in a vehicle, haul it to a car wash, open it up just to try to clean it out. Yeah, I finally ordered my pinion gears from a Slash today. Cool. Hope you get it back together soon. Yeah, I mean, because I can order it, they can ship it, comes to my front. They'll set it out on my front porch, which is covered over with a rooftop on it. I can just pick it up, set it in the house, put it over where I need it, open it up, set the thing out, run the pipe off the back of it to the window, open the window a little bit, stick the pipe out a little ways, close that up, close it in a little bit, run it during the summer, and as soon as the summer's over, undo it, move it out of the way, and close the window. What's up, Bull Gear RC Videos? Hope you're doing all right tonight, my friend. Get a chance to run that Power Wagon yet? Or are you still fooling with the CR24? Now I'll throw this one back at you, wishing I was fishing 73. Have you ever used anything like one of those with the little spinner at the front of it? And do they do any good? Did a run video a couple days ago. Oh, on the Ram. And have you ever used one of the Beetle spins with the little spinner on the front of it? What, the Beetle spin? Or both? Say Bull Gear RC Videos, you did a run video a couple days ago. Is that CR24 you were working on? Or is that the Dodge Ram Power Wagon? Beetle spins are standard. Yeah, that's what I heard somebody say. I heard somebody say you could go out there and be throwing one out for trying to fish for crappier brim, and you liable to grab a bass on it. I got the 1/8 ounce size is what I got. You know, I didn't get the little 1/16. I went with the 1/8. But now this is just a 1.5 inch little swim shad here. You would know that if you'd watched my channel. I would know that if I had watched your channel. Well, same thing. I got that Hummer video that I did a couple weeks ago. I didn't see any comments from you on it. You know. I ordered Dynamite Pinion gears because they're for a 3.175 millimeter shaft, so I hope they will slide on my motor shaft. Cool. They've been catching fish for 50 years. Cool. Nah, Bull Gear, I ain't trying to be mean. Everybody gets busy, man. And I didn't even get a notification about that video, to be honest. I was just telling Wishing I was fishing 73. I got a notification from him saying he had just uploaded a new video, but I haven't received one saying you just uploaded one a couple days ago. You know, sometimes YouTube be glitchy witchy. And you know I've been waiting on you to put that Dodge Ram one up because I'd been asking you about it. So I'll have to go and look when I get back on regular YouTube. When I'm not on here live, I'll go look for it. Because I'm curious about what a real person thinks about the rig, you know, after running it. And I want to see how it looks when a real person's using it to perform. Not somebody trying to advertise it and just trying to sell it. I've seen a couple people that's just trying to sell it. Oh man, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. This is better than anything out there. Because they're trying to promote it to sell it, you know. That's why I wanted to see your video. Because I know you're going to be honest about what you think about that Ram Power Wagon, you know. And I can watch your video and get a sense of what it could really do. But yeah, wishing I was fishing 73. It's okay. So it's nothing spectacular, but it's not the worst thing out there. Street Dreams. What's up, man? Resident Evil 3 Nemesis releases next month. Ooh. Massive Cloud just got moved into the new house and PC isn't hooked up. Going to look for some earbuds. I'll be back. All right, my friend. Now, Bull Gear, you said it's okay. Is it much better than the Hobby Plus ones? The 1/18th scale of them? Is it better than them or about the same as them? Because like I told you, I kind of had my eye on the actual body one I like is the one that looks like the International Scout or the old Bronco. That what is it? Kind of a charcoal gray, gunmetal gray with the black stripes on it. But I thought maybe the Panda Hobby one was definitely better than it, just from what I'd heard about it and seen about it. So that's why I'm asking you. Do you think it's better? I haven't played that many Resident Evil games. I've seen pretty much every movie, but I think one of them that they did. I played a few of the Resident Evil games. Back when I was playing them, I didn't like the way you saved, because you had to sit there and complete this, come all the way through all these stages before you could hit a save spot. And if something happened and you wasn't at a safe spot and it was time to you go to bed so you could get up and go to work the next day, you're sitting there and you can't even save your game. The save spots on the older, big fan since the PS1. I played one of the old ones that was from PS1 on my PlayStation 2. And like I said, I liked the gameplay, but I did not like the save feature. I like to be able to save whenever I want, or the auto save, just every so often, to do a random auto save. I don't like that. You got to go through 3 stages before you can ever save. Played and beat every one of them ever made. Cool. Yeah, that's like I said. That's the only thing I didn't like about them was the saves. Because man, I'd be up half the night playing the game, and I'd have to go to bed to get ready to go to work the next day, and it wouldn't be to a safe spot. I played Last of Us Part 1, but I never got around to Part 2. My PlayStation 3 went, and I never finished the first part of Last of Us. So I bought another PlayStation 3 and then my girlfriend bought me a PlayStation 4 for Christmas, and I just never got back on to The Last of Us on PlayStation 3 so I could go ahead and knock it out and see what number 2 was like. That's not saying I won't. I just hadn't done it yet. Part 2 releases May 29th. Cool. I just recently got the game Dead Before Daylight. Oh no, Dead Before Dawn. That's the one I got. I was gonna get Dead Before Daylight, but I changed my mind and went Dead Before Dawn. That one about the kids staying up in the cabin and somebody starting to kill them. I just recently got that one on PlayStation 4. I have The Last of Us on PS4, but I'm bad at shooting games. Man, I'm gonna tell you, one of my favorite shooting games was Max Payne. All the Max Payne. It is different than Hobby Plus, or actually, to sum it up, it's like comparing those trucks to 1-1. Oh, cool. I haven't played that one yet. You need to check that one out. Dead Before Dawn. Like I said, something happens. Like what it is one year a bunch of friends gather at a cabin, and a couple of the kids prank this one girl. They tell a star football player to pretend like he wants to be with her. They get her up in the room, and then they start taking video of her picking on her. She runs out into the woods, and she ends up dying. And then they all come back to pay their respects and hang out again. And then next thing you know, some of them start dying. And you got to try to figure it out before you die, of course. The Panda Hobby will drag the other ones around just like in a 1-to-1. So you'd eat those other ones, huh? Eat them for breakfast. Have you seen the other version? I know they got the Dodge Power Wagon for $109, the one that you got. You know, they got the Jeep version that they ask $129 for. Well, now they come out with one. One guy said it's a Ford Bronco. The body color they went with it is the same black and red that they went with on the TRX4 Traxxas Bronco. But the front grille on it, the front end of it, is a Dodge Ram Charger, like a late 90s, like a middle 90s. Like say like a 95 to 98 model Dodge Ram Charger. The front grille is basically one of those. But the body itself looks more like a Ford Bronco. But it looks good, the red and black version. But everybody's calling it a Ford Bronco when they see it from the side. I saw it from the front end and said Dodge Ram Charger, so I went and looked them up, started pulling up the different years. And somewhere between 92 and 98 was where they got the idea from, the front end. The tires could be better and the shocks are too stiff. But it does good. Well, you know, how many RTRs do you not say the tires could be better on? Unless you get one with some licensed tires, and still some of those could be better. And now the shocks, you could probably put maybe a little bit different fluid in them, make the shocks just a little bit better, or change the springs. You could help the shocks out a little bit with maybe some different springs, or maybe some different shock oil. Grip, if you're crawling, if you're doing what I did in the woods, trailing and crawling, you want tires that have a real good grip. They call them sticky. It's what they call a sticky compound. You want them sticky so when they hit a rock, they grab traction and help pull you up the rock. And you want them softer. Like you'll hear somebody say, oh, I'm getting this in an S3 or an X compact, or, you know, like extra sticky or extra soft. You know, you want that more if you're doing crawling or trailing, because you want them to get that grip. That's like taking a pickup truck, like my Ram 4x4. You put street tires on it and you try to go out and rock crawl. You ain't gonna do too good. But you go out and you swap those tires out and at least put some all season that can do a little bit of everything, like mud terrain and everything else. You put them on it, and I guarantee you're going to come up the rocks a lot quicker than you would with those just regular street tires. That's like that mud hill in between where we lived and you. Yeah, they matter, just like they do on a real car. Just like they do on a real car, they help you get better grip for different situations. And you want something more off-roady for when you're trailing and crawling to give you better grip. It's like that mud hill that was in between my place and yours when we lived out there. When I first moved up there, my pickup truck wouldn't come up it even in four-wheel drive. I had street tires on it, just regular street tires. I went somewhere and had a set of 4 used off-road tires put on there. Come back home, dropped it in four-wheel, went straight up the hill. No problem. Even all that red clay that was there. Didn't have no problem going up it then. But with the street tires, couldn't go up it for nothing. So it's kind of like that on the RC. Hobby Plus has great tires out of the box. May get a set of CR18 tires for it. Now that's a really good idea. That would take care of your tire issue. Get you a set of the CR18s, either the chrome ones or the gray ones. You know, because you could get the set like that go to the pickup. Yeah, they make a huge difference when rock crawling, or if you're just going off road anywhere in any kind of like mud, any kind of slimy stuff. Because if you get out there in the mud and you got street tires on, 9 times out of 10, you're here hoping somebody can pull you out. At least if you got some sort of off-road tire, you can generally do a pretty good bit. My old Ram, like I said, I had street tires on it. I tried to climb a mud hill that went up about like this, and that thing just sat there in four-wheel drive and just spun. And when I rolled back, I caught a rock and ripped my muffler open because of it. And I went and put a set of off-road tires on there. They wasn't rock crawling tires. They wasn't real big. They were almost the same size as the tires that were on it, but they were a little bit bigger, just a little bit, and they had better lugs on them. Come home with that thing, went straight up it in four-wheel drive, never even slowed down with it. I mean, it just pulled straight up it. So, yeah, tires are massive when it comes to any kind of off-roading. The Panda Hobby wheels are weighted, though, so I would have to weight the Hobby Plus tires to keep it the same. True. Yeah. Now, can you get a set of the little small aluminum beadlock wheels that'll fit that thing? Because that would give you some weight down low. I mean, it probably wouldn't have as much weight as it's got on it with those weighted wheels. I watched somebody the other day running one. His biggest complaint was the stiff shocks. He said it had stiff shocks that hindered the articulation. That's what he said. He said the shocks were too stiff and it hindered the articulation a little too much. He was the first truthful guy I heard actually say it had any flaws. Everybody else was, oh man, this is the best little crawler you can buy. That's what everybody else was saying. This one guy said that the shocks were too stiff. Can you change to a bigger electric motor? Depends on the RC, but generally you can. A lot of times you want to make them faster. A lot of times you want to slow them down. Depends on what you're doing. If you're crawling, you want torque more than you want speed, in my opinion. If I'm crawling or doing trail run videos, I want more torque than I do speed. Now, if you're just out running one to bash one, a little more speed. If you're doing one like speed runs, like people like to do down the road to see how fast they can get it to go, then you definitely want one built for speed. You want motors that are made to give you the speed. Generally, when you step into brushless, you generally get your better motors when it comes to speed, for sure. But yeah, you can generally change out motors. Depends on the RC to what you can go with, what it can handle. A lot of times gears in the transmission, if they're plastic and you go put a bigger motor in there, those gears might not be able to handle it. It depends. Like I said, it depends on the motor. Like, I've got a short course truck. It's an ECX Torment, 2-wheel drive. If I put what they call a brushless, more powerful motor in it, which would probably make it go 5 or 10 mile an hour faster, it would eat those gears up in it. But if I put that same motor in my 4-wheel drive ECX Torment, it would be fine with it, because the 2-wheel drive came with plastic gears. The 4-wheel drive came with metal gears. Just all depends. But it also depends on how big of a brushless, how big of a motor you go with. A lot of times, if you're just trying to get maybe a little bit more speed, you can just swap the motor on out. Hobby Plus has brass wheel weights. Panda Hobby has brass knuckles. RC Reviews is the only other guy I have seen talk about the Panda Hobby K1. And he says the frame flexes, mine does what? Yeah, he did say that as well. But I'm talking about, he said the springs, the shocks were stiff, and he wasn't sure if it was the springs causing it or the fluid. But he was going to look into that. His biggest two complaints that I heard him say, like I said, that I heard him say was that flex, but I wasn't even. That Hummer that I've got is an HGP 401, no $90 crawler. The chassis flexes on it, and I've been dealing with that thing for 3.5 years. So a chassis flex, even if it flexes, it's not going to bother me. You know. Now, if I was competition on a crawler course, something in a competition with people, yeah, I would want no flex in the chassis probably. But for what I do, most of the time running in the woods doing trailing, I could care less if it had a little bit of flex. But like you said, yours doesn't flex. Might have been certain batches. It might have been a certain one, you know. Certain runoff session of them, I don't know. But I definitely liked your idea about the tires. Because, you know, you swap out a set of tires, might be a big improvement on it. And then if you come up with something about the shocks, whether change the springs or whether you change the shock oil, you might get that thing where it really, you know, something special. But one has brass wheel weights and the other one has brass knuckles. But yeah, I saw him do this. Oh man, the flex in the chassis is awful. Compared to what? You didn't bring out any other 18th scale crawlers and go, oh, this one's the same, or this one doesn't flex at all. You know, he didn't really compare it to the other ones. I mean, in my opinion. Yeah. To me, when you compare rigs, it's apples to apples, oranges to oranges. If not, then it's an unfair advantage. If you got a rig that's portal axle going against something that's not portal axle, there's already a big difference right there. You know, and then they done took that TRX4 that they're going up against this Cross Demon with that says factory, and they've already got this TRX4 that they've done maxed out. They got different tires on it, different this a lot of times. Now, I do like when people take them. He does this sometimes too, and they put the exact same tires on them. Then that at least, like when they use the Hyrex, they use the 1.9 Hyrexes, and they'll put them on all the rigs that they're testing. Okay, that evens the field a little bit more. But if you've got a rig that's over here got portal axles, and you're comparing it to rigs that's not portal axle, I mean, come on. You can expect the Demon not to be quite as capable, you know. But you look at the TRX4, I mean, sport. A lot of people don't want that ugly body, and they don't want to change bodies time to get it. They'd rather get that Cross Demon with that sweet body on it, build it, and make it up to what they want, you know. But yeah, is it going to crawl the exact same line as a sport? To be a fair, yeah. Take an RC 4-wheel drive that's got a hard body on it, and then put a Cross Demon out there or something that's got a hard body on it. Because yeah, that's apples to apples, oranges to oranges. Yeah, that's a better one. And make sure you got the same electronics. If you really want to go at it, this one's got a 35 turn motor. This one's got a 35. You know, this one's running a 20-gram servo. This one's too. This one's running Hyrex tires. This one's running Hyrex tires. And then you can sit there and go, okay, that one's geared lower. That one works better for pulling. You know, this one's a little faster. You know. But, I mean, that's like, okay, Red Cat the Gen 8 versus the TRX4 Sport. Still wasn't quite fair because the Red Cat body, was a little heavier and everything with the way it was made up with all that inner fender wells and stuff. So really what he should have done was took the TRX4 Sport and he should have put it up against the Gen 8 with just a Lexan body on it. Because they're both portal axles. Then it would have made it and put Hyrex tires on both of them. But yeah, all his reviews aren't always exactly fair, But sometimes he does make some good comments on some of them. Like when he said it didn't want to my Gen 8 will run with my TRX4 Sport all day. Yeah, and for the money. And if you've noticed, the Gen 8 just dropped. The regular Red Cat Gen 8 just dropped by $30. They just dropped it about $30. So, so it's way cheaper than the TRX4 Sport. Plus, you get a better looking body. I like some, like I didn't say I didn't like his reviews. I like some of them. Some of them, the comparisons aren't fair. Because if you're going to sit there and you're going to run this truck that's built up with everything on it, and you're going to sit there and try to say it's a fair comparison, it's not. A hard body blip against a Lexan body, that right there is making it unfair. Because that hard body is going to be easier to tip over. Now, if you sit there and say that before you make that review, hey, I know this one's got a little bit of a disadvantage because it's got a hard body and this one's got a Lexan body, but we want to see what it can do as it comes when you buy it. That's different. Axle just dropped the SCX-10 and the Wraith 1.9 prices. Yeah, the Wraith, I think it was the Wraith 1.9 went down to, what was it, $329. I think they dropped it to. I didn't see the SCX-10 yet, what they dropped it to. But I know the 1.9 Wraith, they dropped it down to $329 the last time I looked. And the like I said, the Red Cat Gen 8, not the new brushless edition, the Axe edition, but the other one, the brushed one, the orange or the blue one. They just marked them down by like $30. They took $30 off the price of them because of the two new Red Cats that just came out. Well, they had two new Red Cats come out. Of course, they had the Gen 8 Scout with the convertible rooftop thing with the brushless system, the Axe system. Then they had their new Rock Racer they just released. Well, the Gen 8 Axe edition, which is brushless and has the removable like soft top, like the bikini top on it, comes in black. And then they just now released a Rock Racer. They got a brushless Rock Racer they just released. It's a cross. It's a cross between it kind of looks, the front end goes Bronco-ish or Scoutish, but then they got some massive wheels on that thing. They got some huge Super Swampers on it. They got Super Swamper 2.2s on it. It looks really cool. They also just released a 6S monster truck. Yeah. I was more interested in the Rock Racer and the fact that because the Rock Racer just came out and because they had just did the Gen 8 Axe edition a little while back, that made the regular Gen 8 price. Like I said, they dropped them $30. $30 off the price. they're at a good deal. I never had a rock racer. I like the build of them. Well, you know, I've got that axial race, the original style, and they always call it a rock racer. You know, but that thing crawls some stuff like nobody's business, even though it's considered a rock racer. I love my race, but now on just a regular trail, if you're out trailing with friends, it's hard to go some of the places they go because that race is like, it's like this wide when everybody else's rig is like this wide. I mean, that race is like, oh, and everybody else's is like this, you know. So it's hard getting them tight trail runs on a race. Now, if you're just out in the open woods, just having some fun by yourself, you can trail it pretty much anywhere you want. And then you can go out and cross some rocks and have fun. But if you're out with friends and stuff and they're doing some little small trails, the bigger race is not the one you want. Now, I wouldn't mind having the 1.9 race. I wouldn't mind having that either. I like the look of it. I like the orange version and I like the black version. But if I had to pick between that 1.9 race, the new Red Cat is wider than the race. It's a big one. But if I had to pick one between the 1.9 race and the original Gen 8 by Red Cat, I would probably go with the original Gen 8 by Red Cat. Just for the fact it's cheaper. Plus you get portals. You know. That's just me though. It looks like Horizon Hobbies done run Viterra, helped run Viterra into the ground or something. You notice you ain't hearing nothing new from Viterra. They came out, hit with all them different RCs, all them different trail trucks and crawlers, and then they started discontinuing them left and right. You can't find half of them now. It's hard to find twin hammers. And then they changed it up, went with the twin hammers, the version 2 that had the single speed transmission and had supposed to look more like a truck body. Had the spare tire laying like in the back of it, like it would be in a truck bed. They discontinued that one. It was like a blue and orange color mixed. They discontinued that one. It didn't stay around no time. So I don't know what happened with Viterra. And I mean, they seemed like they were pretty tough vehicles. Everybody I saw reviewing them said how tough they were. And they love how the pumpkins on them were small. You know. I think we will see some Viterra and Losi design incorporated in the new Axial when it drops. That would be cool. Especially the Viterra part of it. You know. Then yeah, with Losi, with that the comp crawlers that they used to sell like crazy. What was it, Nightcrawler or whatever? I mean, you know the technology's there. They've been Losi's made crawlers, even the small ones, for years. So if you could do a partnership with some of their technologies together, you could come up with something really nice. Excuse me. I mean, you could really come up with something nice. Now, question is how expensive it would be. Capra has a lot of Losi in its design. I can see that. I can agree with that one. But yeah, there's a lot of companies out there that seem like they kind of fell to the wayside lately. Did Red Cat ever fix the front input gears on the Gen 8? I don't know if they took care of that or not. You know, some had trouble with it, some didn't. Laughing out loud, Nightcrawler with portals. Oh, yeah. Now, could you imagine that? A Nightcrawler with the portals. Well, I seen people get the what is it, the Gen 7, the Pro Edition, even though it's got the heavy body on it. They wanted it because it had the aluminum shocks. It had the better gears in it than the standard Gen 7 did. Yeah. And they took it and then they put the Red Cat Gen 8 portals under the Gen 7 Pro Edition. And they said they turned that thing into a beast by doing that. That's what the Capra is. Kind of a Losi with portals. But yeah, I've seen it. Like I said, I've seen a couple people on YouTube who took the Gen 7 and the Gen 8, I mean, both the Gen 7, the Pro and the Sport Edition, and they added portals to them. Once the second line of Gen 8s come out, because remember the first stock that came out, they were having a little bit of trouble with some of the portals, some people were. And then after that, they started clearing that up. And this guy, he took and put portals under the Gen 7 editions, you know, both of them. But the Pro, remember, it has the aluminum shocks. It's got some better stuff on it. And he said it just turned that thing into a beast, you know. Said once he got the portals on it, you know, all the electronics worked out cool for him. He put the portals on it. And then he went with the, I think he said Hyrex tires on it. He said, and it really made that thing come to life. The Gen 7 Pro Edition with the portals, some Hyrexes on it. So I've seen different people do different things with the Gen 7s. I'm surprised that they didn't drop the Gen 7 like $20 or $30 when they dropped the Gen 8. But they had already dropped the Gen 7 recently, the Pro Edition. They dropped it from $280 down to $249.99. And I guess they figured that was enough. But realistically, you think now that the Gen 8 has come down by $30, that they'd bring the Sport and the Pro down, like say another $20. I'd like to have the AXE system for my TRX4. Yeah, if I had a TRX4, I would probably want the Sport Edition just for the single speed transmission. That way I ain't got to worry about all them servos, because a lot of people complained about the servo. Gen 7 frame rails are close to being comp style. Yeah, man, I really had my eye on the Gen 7, the Pro, because of the upgrades that it gave you, you know, over the Sport Edition. And now that they marked it down, there's only $50 difference between the Gen 7 Pro and the Sport. So for $50, you get all these extra upgrade goodies that are on it. You know, like the aluminum shocks, the better shocks. And some of the other stuff's supposed to be like better. Some of the gears I think are supposed to be better. I think it's got like more metal gears in it than the Pro. The Pro's got more metal gears than the Sport does. So I wouldn't mind having that one. I could see myself having fun with it. Now, I would either change that body, or either, if I didn't change the body, I would probably at least try to clear up the windows or cut a couple of the windows out so I can make it look more real. I put one of my Castle short course truck systems in it, and it was hard to keep it on four wheels. Wanted to bob and weave at high speed. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, you can get them a little too out of control. Got my Rat Rod CR24 painted. Cool. Yeah. I reported him. I guess I ought to feel lucky. Hadn't had any, trolls or any spammers in the last few videos. I guess I should feel lucky about that. So, but yeah, I reported him. Wish Armor, yeah. I've been wanting that for the last year, almost 2 years. That's not going to happen. Hi, what's a good RC to buy a 10-year-old? Well, you could get something from Traxxas, like say a little 1/16 short course truck, or you could get them something a little bit smaller, like a little 1/24 scale little truck or car from Traxxas. You have your Traxxas brand, which have a 1/16 short course truck, and then you have the Latrax brand, which is put out by Traxxas, which is their little bit cheaper, more budget friendly one, and they have a 1/16 or 1/18 size short course truck in it as well. Then there's different brands like Arrma, ECX, but it depends on what you're wanting them to have. Are you wanting them to have something they can get out in the yard and run kind of fast and bash around? Or you want them, or you think they might want something that they can crawl with, that can climb over, just climb stuff. Yeah. Now there's a really good deal. Arrma has that $99 line. I had mentioned Arrma, and one of the guys just reminded me that they have the $99 line. You get a 1/10 scale, and it comes with like 2 of the vape batteries that you use when you use for e-cigs for the vaping. You just put those 2 in it, charge those up, put them in it, and you run it. If you buy more than 2, you can add a few more, and make the vehicle get more speed as you add more batteries to it. I think they can run like multiple, I think, what is it, 2, 4, and 6 or something like that you can put in them. But, and then you can change later time and just upgrade it to a LiPo. But that line right there is only like $100. But I mean, a lot of people don't want to put $100 in a car for a 10-year-old. Yeah, they can go up to 6. I knew it was something like that. I knew they could start out with like 2, but I thought they could go up to 6. And then there's supposed to be, you can go up to like a LiPo, like a 2-cell LiPo, and they can handle that too easily. But $100, it depends on whether you want to put that in for a 10-year-old. Depends on the kid. Because, you know, some 10-year-olds, you could buy them that car, spend $100 on it. They play with it one time, and then you never see them touch it again. Yep, or you can use a LiPo pack with a T-plug. Yeah. But not too many people want to buy a 10-year-old kid a car with a LiPo, to be honest. And if they've never messed with RC, then they've got to, you know, deal with it. But you're right about the Armor with the little vape batteries. For $100, I mean, you slap a couple of the vape batteries in it. He gets out there and he runs it at about 15 miles an hour. He either enjoys it or he doesn't. You're out the $100 if he doesn't. But if he does, as he plays with it more, you can buy him a couple more of the vape batteries. It'll go a little bit faster for him. And then as he gets a little bit older, buy a couple more vape batteries. And then he's running 6 of them in there, and it's pretty fast. Yeah. And then later time, you could go with a LiPo. Start him out with a Raminator. Yeah. 1/5 scale. Costs more than some people's used cars that they drive. Them things are expensive. I definitely wouldn't be buying no 10-year-old one of them. I can't buy myself one of them. Yeah, I can't get one of them for myself. I definitely ain't going to buy one for nobody else. Now, Massive, I know you're in here. I know Bull Gear's in here. I'm not sure if Wishing I was Fishing 73 still in here and just listening, or if he's disappeared for good. But I got to ask you. I want to get your opinion on it. I'm not talking about the rod. The rod is wore out, and the reel doesn't fit it anyway. It was just on there. I got this from my girlfriend's mama. Gave me this. It was my girlfriend's granddad's, and he passed away, and her mom gave it to me. Well, the rod's not any good, and I know the line needs to be changed, but I'm just curious, should I put the money in it to take that reel off that rod and put it on another rod and then put new line on it and try to learn how to use that thing? Or would I be better off just to leave it for sentimental reasons the way it is, since it was my girlfriend's granddad's? You know, just leave it sentimental reasons like it is and leave it put up. Or take that reel, pull that line off, put new line on it, put it on a new rod, and try to learn how to fish with it. Yeah, since I've already got it. Or just leave it alone. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Take it, get some WD-40, a rag, clean it up real good, open it up, spray it, lubricate everything in there, go buy me a tube of real grease, grease up the gears real good with that too. You know, put new line on it, slap it on a new rod. But you figure you're looking at anywhere between $5 and $10 just for the line to put on it, at least. You're looking at least $10 to $20 for some kind of rod to put it on, because you're going to want to at least put it on at least a 6 foot, if not a 7. So, but this thing is so old school, it doesn't even have the button like most of the bait casters do. So when you throw it out, your only button is right there. And of course, the more you open it up on the side, the faster the line's going to come out. So I was debating on that. I'm going to have to clean it up to look and just see if I can see. Because it's just been sitting. I got it. It was out there in his fishing shed. He passed away. My girlfriend's mama said, hey, I want you to have this. Because when we go, at the time, they lived on the lake. And we'd go down there, and I'd go fishing on the pier. And I'd come up there, and I'd talk to him, and we'd swap fishing stories. And I got along with him real good. So when he passed away, she gave it to me. She said, here, I want you to have this. And I've had it ever since. I've just never used it. I remember those ones. Could be, man, to be honest. Because it was her granddad's, you know. So, there ain't no telling. I mean, I can quite honestly say I'm pretty sure it's antique. I don't know exactly how old, but I'm pretty sure it's an antique reel. I mean, duh. Because, you know, all the bait casters pretty much that come out now have got some kind of thumb button that I've seen. Yeah, good for building calluses on your thumb. Yeah. But I haven't decided. Part of me says, yeah, go ahead and give it a try. Just nothing else for laughs. See what you can do with it, you know. But then again, part of me says, well, if you're going to try to fix that and get it ready for the water, you could basically go out and buy a brand new bait caster, cheap bait caster combo, and get out there with and do the same thing. So part of me says yeah, part of me says no. But part of me just wants to do it out of respect, you know. All right, my friend. You have a good night. Thanks for joining in, man. Good luck with them RCs. But yeah, massive. I may do it. Like I said, I may go to Walmart and just buy some, not the best. I may not even get Trilene. I might just get some off-name brand, you know, that I can buy for like $5 for a spool. Get some line on it. Put it on just a cheap rod. You know, something that's at least 6 foot. I wouldn't use it. So you wouldn't fool with it, huh? You just put it away. Maybe clean it up, try to find out what the name is on it, and then just put it up somewhere, huh? But the rod is passing its better days. There's your spider web attention it's had on the end of it and dust bunnies. Looks like it's trying to come apart here. It's cracked down through there. The wood part on the back here is kind of, you know, vintage rods don't seem to sell for a lot after looking, so I would try it. Well, on the left-hand side of the reel, there's no name on this side. Oh, wow. It's a Pflueger. I found the name. Wow. The rod's old too, ain't it? Hey, this thing's old. Right there, the name is on there. I can't quite get it to focus in on the name for you. See if you can see it right. Nah, it ain't gonna quite focus in on the name. It's a vintage Pflueger because It is a Pfluger Deluxe Knobby. That's what it says on there. It says Pfluger Deluxe Knobby is what it says. Or, yeah. Hello. It says Pfluger Deluxe Knobby, made in the USA. Says 1960 on it. Right here where it says the name and the model and all that. Wow. It sells for about what you can buy. You can't hardly buy brand new bait casters, but you can. I mean, you can find some no-name bait casters for $10, $15, $20. Yeah, oil it up and throw some line on it. But I got to take it off this rod because realistically, the way it's sitting on here, watch this. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think I should leave it on this rod. Unless I can tighten it up a little bit more. That's the original rod for it, you think? So you're saying I should try to see if I can tighten that up a little bit. Maybe put a little WD-40 on that screw. Let it soak in and then, or same design, that era. Put me a little bit of WD-40 on there and see if I can tighten that down a little bit more. Because that's just, I mean, it's all, it's all over the place. But surprisingly, it's still got all the rod eyes. They're all there. You saw the end one. It's covered in, crap. So, yeah, I could clean it up, oil it up. If I can tighten that reel up a little bit more, I wouldn't even buy another rod. I'd just leave it there. Yeah, that's the rod it came with, laughing out loud. Probably did. Probably a 1960 rod and reel. Yeah. That thing's from before when I was born. That thing's actually older than me. Wow. Never had a rod and reel that old. I've had a car older than that, but I've never had a rod and reel that old. But yeah, man, I wonder how much line it'll hold. Because I don't see, it doesn't say in the mount. I wonder how much line it would hold on there. So now you kind of like it, huh? What I might do is, those kind of plastic practice plugs that you can buy? So when you're just throwing out in your backyard, so you don't get hung. 60-year-old combo. Yeah, man. That's something different, ain't it? You don't see them every day. I bet it would hold a whole spool. Yeah, I wonder how much this thing would hold. It's full. It is full of line. See? Part of me's tempted to oil it up a little bit, pull off about 10 or 15 yards, the outer, everything that's on top, just take off a little bit of that, cut that off, throw that away, leave what's on there, just to see how how it'll work. Instead of going and buying brand new line, just take some of that line off. Like I said, take off about 10 or 15 yards of what's laying up on the very top. Clean the reel up, maybe oil it up some, and go out in the backyard, put like a little practice plug or just a weight on there or something, a little small weight, and just try to see how it. But I would not use that rod if I went fishing with it. I mean, come on. If this rod is that old and you get this thing under a load of a bass, imagine the backlashes that thing could throw. Yeah. Imagine if you turn the drag or the brakes all the way off, whatever it's got, and you forget to lay that thumb up there. You're sitting there for 2.5 hours after your bird nest, and you're still trying to get the backlashes and bird nests out. But I don't think this rod would probably handle too big of a fish. But then again, it might surprise me. The rod would insta-snap. Say the rod would insta-snap. I don't know. It's tied. The line's tied. I haven't tried. See? The line's tied up here. I just haven't even tried to reel it, really. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, you can hear. Well, you can turn it backwards right now. But that might be because of the way it's set up. I haven't really checked. I wonder how old the line is. Yeah, that's true. Now, it's got a couple buttons over here. I should take it out and try to catch a fish on this rod and reel and line. As you can see, you got one knob there that turns. Then you got that for just loosening up the tension on the spool. That way, if you want a little bit of side-to-side action on the spool. But not a whole lot of adjustments. I see the spot over here where you squirt the grease in. There's your little window for that. You slide that around, find the opening, squirt the grease in there. It'd be the one time you hook a 10-pounder. Yeah. No, I'd latch onto a 12-pound catfish. Oh, God. Snap. Yeah. I'd latch onto that 10-pound bass or like a 12 or 15-pound cat, and that thing would be toast. But yeah, I need to look it over because I mean I know you gotta loosen it up or put something heavy on there because there ain't no push button. When you throw it, the weight of the lure helps pull it out. You know, and according to how much you've got this button turned. I think that gives it drag or gives it brake. I'm having to. I got to check it. Okay, I just turned it this way as far as it would go. But yeah, I'd have to clean it up and see what it'll do. Now I'm turning it the other way. I feel like I tried to use one of these reels as a teen, and I couldn't get it out very far. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into it. But yeah, without having that button, it definitely makes it a little more adventurous. Definitely makes it a little bit more adventurous to try to learn how to use it. I seem to tighten it up just a little bit. Now it's tighter. Yeah. See? I got to give it more force. There. Turn it the other way. Turn it counterclockwise, and it's like it loosens the drag. Or loosens the... So, I think you open it up the other way. But, of course, you could probably loosen up on each side the spool screws just a little bit. Just to give it a little bit of movement. And the line would probably come off faster that way. But, yeah, I do need to play around with it one day. Nothing else, take it out in the backyard. Put a practice plug on it or put a weight on it. Yeah, I like the clicky sound. Just like when I'm using a spinning reel. If I throw out and I got my drag set where I think it's about right for small fish, and all of a sudden I hear, and it's just peeling off line, then I figure I got a pretty decent one, you know. But you don't hear nothing. You're not sure. Because if you're using a cheaper rod, your rod could still be bent way over. You know, so you don't know what you got. Did you have a chance to see my latest video? When I unboxed my new camera for the channel, and I unboxed some more stuff for the kayak. I unboxed some more stuff for the kayak, and I unboxed the camera that I'm going to be using when I go out kayaking, and on my channel on some other stuff. I unboxed that stuff, and I put up a video on it yesterday. I showed these earlier. I haven't been on YouTube since last Wednesday. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, you did say you just moved. You've been moving and everything. Yeah, man, I put a video up showing me unboxing a new camera I've got. Excuse me. More stuff that I bought to put on the kayak. I uploaded that yesterday. So when you get back on YouTube, give it a look. You see some more stuff I got for it. Like I said, I'm trying to get ready for the season. I got another video that I just shot that I've got to edit so I can put up. of me putting all the stuff on there, you know, that I unboxed that I bought for the kayak. Me messing with that stuff. So I've got a video that I just put on my computer last night. I put it on my computer last night. I still got to go through and edit it. And then I'll be getting ready to upload it in a few days. Got to get a Wi-Fi adapter for the desktop. I understand that one. Pre-spawn here in Kentucky. You can get some good bites throwing over there near the beds and stuff. You can find some beds. But yeah, I really want to try this one. With that little spinner on him and everything. Little paddle tail. Swim bait style minnow with a spinner hooked to him. And then, of course, the Johnson beetle spin with a little spin on it. I really want to try those. Never used them. Well, I've used something like this, but just without the spinner. And I think the spinner will give it a little more attraction. The spinner being added on there will, give it that little bit of flash, maybe attract them a little bit more. No, you told me about that last week. I got to find one. Last time I was in Walmart, must be this Walmart where I live, just don't have them. Because I haven't even seen one in Walmart. I've been in Walmart since the last time we talked, since last Tuesday, and I haven't seen the Bill Lewis rattle trap yet. I looked, didn't see it anywhere in Walmart. Yeah, like I said, I didn't even see it in Walmart. Maybe end up being something that I got to get from Dick's or from Academy, Might not be able to find it at Walmart where I live, or I may have to go on Walmart.com and see if I can find it. But these little things, they're supposed to be pretty potent. I've seen guys catch bass and crappie and brim with these. But they're really good for like smallmouth bass and crappie or crappie, whichever way you want to call it. The old beetle spin. So I'm hoping to catch something on those. But yeah, that old rod and reel. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing that chat tonight. I'm like, if Massive Cloud's on there, he'll get a kick out of seeing this, and I'll get his opinion on whether I should try to fool with it or whether I should just leave it put up somewhere, Now, like we talked about, I'll probably pull about 10 or 15 yards off of it, cut that loose, and then just tie me some smaller weight on there, or tie me one of those little practice plug things you can buy for your rod and reels to practice with. And I might just walk out in the backyard with it after I clean it up. Make a video if you use it, laughing out loud. Oh, so people can laugh their butts off with all the backlash and bird nests, huh? I hear you. Give you something to laugh at. Oh, Marshall, that was bad. Can you do kayak videos? I've got a couple kayak videos on my channel already. I've got a lifetime Tahoma kayak. I bought it last year for my birthday. I've got a couple videos of me out fishing from that kayak. And I've got some videos of where I do mods and make it, upgrade it for fishing. Because I mainly go fishing on my kayak. It's mainly what I bought it for. But it wasn't a fishing kayak when I bought it. I got it cheaper for that reason. It was like $198.99 or $199.99 when I bought mine. And so I just bought some stuff and started customizing mine and modding mine to make it the way I wanted it. And I just got some more stuff to mod it some more to make it more for me, for my fishing taste. And I got a video I'm fixing to edit of me putting some more stuff on there and doing some more mods. And then I'll be uploading that. They'll be listed down there in the, I've got a category called kayak, and it's either fishing and kayak adventures or kayak and fishing adventures. But it's got both those in the title. It's about fishing or kayaking, or both. I've got a collection of videos down there on those two things. So, yeah, I do kayak videos, but I fish off of mine. Like I said, I've been doing some mods, trying to get it ready for this season. Oh, that depends on what all you want it for and what kind of money you want to put. Now, if you just want something and you've never been on a kayak or you've never had your own, I don't see putting bukus of money in something. And then if you don't like it, if it's not your thing, then you've got all that money you wasted in it. And if you can't sell it for the majority of what you paid for it, then you're pissed because you wasted money. That's why I went with the Lifetime Tahoma kayak that I bought. It was $200 brand new. Want something to go fishing in? Well, you could get the what they call the Lifetime Tamarack. Now it's $279 at Walmart, brand new. Comes with a rod holder on the right hand side, right up here in front of the seat area. On the right hand side. Comes with two flush mount rod holders behind the seat. Comes with a storage tank, a small storage tank thing, hatch up in the front area, and one in the very back area. One back behind the rod holders. And it's only, like I said, around $298. Now that one's set up for fishing. Now, the Tahoma, which is the one I've got, which is a neon green one, it is the exact same kayak, but without some of the stuff that one has. You don't get the rod holders. You don't get the nicer seat. You don't get two hatches. You get just one. You get the one up in front of the seat. You get that hatch, but you don't get a rear hatch. You don't get none of the rod holders. But it's $100 cheaper. You buy that one, and then you can customize it, make it your own, and still go fishing out of it. So, do you like it? Yeah. Mine weighs around 50 pounds when you buy it brand new. It's about 50. Now, if you want one that weighs less than that, I would suggest a Pelican. Finding one of the Pelican models. They're generally 40 to 47 pounds, the majority of the Pelican ones. So they're a little bit lighter of a kayak. But, if I'm not mistaken, the Tamarack and the Tahoma come with I think it's a 5-year warranty on the hull. So, unless you really abuse it, you should be good. I'm not going whitewater rafting. I'm not out in the big rivers where I got to worry about a strong current carrying me into stuff and ramming into it and tearing up the kayak that way. So a Tahoma or the Tamarack would be good. There you'd be looking anywhere from $200 to $300. Now they have, if you're a smaller fella, weight-wise and everything, they have what they call the Daylight version. It's called the Lifetime Daylight. That thing only runs about $150, $180, depending on where you buy it. But it can only handle think it can only hold 175 or 180, something like that on it. Whereas the one I've got, it can handle about 275 pounds of weight. The Tamarack and the Tahoma, they can hold 275 pounds of weight on them. And I'm around 2 myself. So you figure me and them fishing gear, I'm still good. But yeah, I like the Lifetime. Yeah, you need something like what I've got, the Tamarack or the Tahoma, if you want something that's going to make sure it holds you, because I'm 2 all day, and I get on mine and I feel safe. I do wear a life vest just in case, but I feel safe on it. I've already fished on it a few times, and I didn't feel like, oh, whoa, I about fell over. Now, like I said, when I added that stadium seat, it lifted me up 4 inches up off the base of the kayak, and that made me where when I leaned over to do something, it made the whole kayak go with me and lean. So that's why I was going to do away with the stadium seat and go back and do it a different way, mod it a different way. What's up, Mr. Shin RC? Hope you're doing well, my friend. I got to show you a reel that Massive Cloud's got a kick on. He really got a kick out of it. Do you plan on getting a better kayak? I looked at a fishing kayak by Pelican. It was called an Angler Edition, and it comes with the rod holder up here to put a rod down in, 2 behind the seat, and then it comes with some other goodies. And I looked at it, but I've heard people say they don't track well without you adding a skeg to them underneath the back of them to make them stay straight. I looked at that, and I looked at the go online and search Lifetime kayaks, and they've got one that's another angler one. It's a little bit higher than the Tamarack. I think it's the Lifetime Teton. Teton. It's a Lifetime Teton. It's a little more expensive, but it comes with track systems on each side up here for you to add accessories to. Comes with the dual rod holders behind you and other stuff. Yeah. It's the same one as the Tamarack. What you just said, but has no it had no fishing stuff on it. The hull and everything is exactly the same. Only thing they did was they added a second hatch and went ahead and added the rod holders. But the hull design and everything on my boat, my Tahoma is the exact same boat style as the Tamarack. I just don't have 2 hatches. You have one here. You have one behind the seat. I don't have that one. You have the 2 flush mount rod holders. Mine didn't come with that, and the one up here. Hey, man, what does that shirt say? I fish to burn off the crazy. It actually says, I fish to burn off the crazy. And right here, kiss my bass. There's the bass. I've got another hat in the bathroom that says, shut up and fish. Well, thanks, Shin, for saying my kayak is nice. I appreciate that. I went with that one because it can hold like 275 pounds. And I know I'm around 2. So I wanted to be able to have enough for me and some fishing tackle and not be overloaded. Switch to give you 2 thumbs up. Appreciate it, my friend. Now, I got to show you this rod and reel. My girlfriend's granddad passed away years ago, and her mom knew that I got along with him real good. We used to sit and talk fishing all the time. And I used to fish down there when they lived on the lake. Well, when he passed away, her mom gave me one of his old rod and reels. And I just kept it and kept it put away, you know, as a keepsake. But now I'm tempted to try to work on it a little bit and try to use it just to see. Get a hold of that. Or get a load of that, rather. Oh, wait for my next fishing video. It's a good one. Light action rod and equipment catching the nasty, aggressive pickerels. Yeah, it's a classic. It says 1960 on it. Well, I just did a video yesterday of me putting some more stuff on it to make it for fishing. Give me a day or two to get that edited and I'll put that up. I added a fish ruler to my boat so I can measure my fish. I added a seat cushion to make it more comfortable. I added a couple rod holders. And I added a kayak cart to it to wheel it around with so I don't have to just drag it on the ground to where I want to go or pick it up, try to pick it up and tote it. But I got to edit that video before I can upload it. Well, I appreciate that. I try to be. I just come on here and like to have fun, man. You know, just talk about whatever, you know. My cousin always finds the classic fishing rods and reels. Yeah, 1960 Fluger. I mean, it's definitely out. It's definitely something you don't see every day. And it's just been sitting. I haven't really messed with it because I was like, you know, of course I wanted it because it was her granddad's. And me and him got along great. And I'd go down there and fish at the lake, come back up there and talk to him. He wants to send me one to use on my fishing show. But I definitely want to take it out in the backyard and just, I try maybe oil it or something, you know, grease it up a little bit, clean it up a little bit. I kind of want to take it outside and just tie a practice plug on there and just throw it around. Told Marshall to use that one on the line on it for a video. Yeah, he wants me to use this with the line that's on it and with the rod it's hooked to. But yeah, it tells you right there that it's a Fluger. And it tells you the year and everything. Yeah, I've been playing with the button right here, the drag system, making it a little bit easier and a little bit harder, you know, to pull the line out of it. So it does get a little bit of a drag right there, but very little. Because I turned the knob both ways and it still never got where you couldn't pull it out, of course. What is the rod? There is no name on it. There's no name on it anywhere. Oh, yeah. I totally agree, Massive Clouds. Screams pain in the A. If you ain't thumbing this thing just right, whoop, you're going to be sitting out there for like 3 hours going, man, why did I use this? Man, why did I use it? I will tell you, it sure makes you appreciate today's fishing gear. Yeah, but it also makes you respect that, stuff like that, because you're like, that thing will probably still work just fine. If I clean it up, maybe do a little bit of oil to it, and that thing will probably work just like new. You know, even with that old crappy line on and being on that raggedy rod, because that rod's pretty rough. But I don't want to put money into it. I just want to, test it out and see if it'll work. If it works decent, I just want to play around with it, see if I can throw it out with any distance without it bird nesting. Yeah, I can't imagine the backlashes it's going to get. And I can't imagine the backlashes that have come up on that thing. Probably. Now, could you see me out there on the lake, on the kayak, chunk that thing out there with a lure on there, get hit by something good size, go to do that, and you can just hear, real, real, real. And you sit there, come on, and you're trying to put your thumb down on the line. You come back, you're going to have slit marks in your thumb from trying to put enough drag on it to help hold the fish. You have to film you fishing with it. Leave all the bloopers in the video. Oh, man, that's just wrong. That's just wrong, man. True. I can imagine the laughter people will get out of that. Now, I don't really want to sit there for 3 hours, though, and try to get all the tangles out. Because, you don't took time to put your boat in the water. You're going to look at that and go, set it down and grab one of your spinning reels and go, okay, I want to catch a fish. Then I might mess with that. Once you hit that damn big backlash, you're going to want to put it down. Better at least get some new line on it before using it. I will watch it twice. Oh, man. Yeah. If I'm going to take it to the water and actually try to use it to catch fish, I would probably put a new line on it for that. But just for throwing out in the backyard, trying to see how I can do with it, a little bit of test, I want to at least test it in the yard once before I got to go try to put it in the water, and fish with it in the boat, But if it seems like it, got something worth doing, go get some new line, spool it up with some new line. But I don't see it being able to throw anything really, really light unless I loosen that thing up, because the line doesn't come out on it real easy right now. You got to give it a little bit of a... So I don't know how much tension you got to give it or how much weight it'll take to pull the line out when you do this. I'll have to play around on it a little bit and adjust that until I see it start bringing out a little bit more line and then settle in there somewhere. Nope. That's why he said it's going to be so funny. You got to film the testing too. Oh, so I got to film the test in the back. If I go out in the backyard and test it, they want that film too, huh? That way we can get some good laughs. Fishing with PH. Oh, God. Video time. Yeah, that's my biggest issue If you tighten up, you throw it 5 or 10 feet and that's it. It just blew. But you don't have hardly any backlash. But then if you loosen that thing up much and you don't get your thumb just right on that spool, you throw it out 20 or 30 feet, if that far, and don't ever take your thumb off the spool when you cast or you will be doomed. Yeah, on this one, it's a guaranteed. Some of the other ones, if you adjust the brakes and different things on it, you can get them set where you can throw out a decent distance without, you know. I wonder how to be the sidearm this thing. I wonder how it would be sidearming it. I'm just like, hey, where's the button? That was my first thought when she gave it to me. Yeah, even the cork's rotted. But when she gave it to me, my first thought was, where's the button? Because I had never messed with a bait caster when she gave it to me. Never even touched one. All I ever used was close face, like your Zebco 202, your Zebco 33. Then I had a Zebco, it was called a 700 Boss or 700 Hoss edition. I had that one. And then I went to spinning reels. And then this thing, when I got it, I was like, wait a minute, where's the button you mash? You know. Ha ha, ha ha. Oh my Lord. Everybody's a comedian. And definitely will be if I make a video of that out in the backyard trying to throw it. No button. Weird. I mean, think about it. If you've never fished with one like this, and somebody hands you one and goes, there you go, throw that out. Where's the button? Where's the button you mash? Because it don't have one. You got to loosen it up enough so that the weight of the lure will take it out when you throw it. No, I do them every Tuesday. I do them every Tuesday night. That's going to be a challenge for sure. Yeah. And then some. In other words, you ain't really putting that little thing on there and throwing it out with it. I don't see that happening. I don't even see it throwing the Johnson Beetle Spin 1/8 ounce. To me, you're going to have a little bit heavier of a lure. You know, like a Texas rig or Carolina rig worm. So that way you get a decent size, you know, bullet weight up here. And then you got the worm hanging down. You have to pick it out with a pocket knife. But to me, either a heavier, the reel looks like the kind for the ocean. Yeah, it does. To me, you're either going to have to throw like a weighted lure, a heavy lure, like say something like a crank or a lipless crankbait with one ball bearing in there, a BB in there, or a couple, maybe a crowbar, or throw something, you know, like a Carolina or Texas style rig worm with the weight, or a drop shot setup. Or if you can't get much distance out of it, good thing you're on a kayak, you can just come in and throw it out 4 or 5 feet. Well, it will be a good test for the new camera. Yep. Don't know. I got it from my girlfriend's mom when my girlfriend's granddaddy passed away. Yeah. That's another thing it reminds me of. Something you'd set in a rod holder, put some bait on it, and you know, it just trolls behind the boat at a certain amount of line out. And then when the fish grabs it and starts to run with it, it's got the clicking, the bait alarm. Letting you know something's got it. Now, if you could get some, put that on like a 7-foot rod, put some decent line on it, and put you some of those big shiners on there with a decent size hook, toss that out right behind you, loosen it up a little bit, and that way when a fish comes up and hits it, you know, I think the only drag or braking system as you can see right there, where the little arrow is. See, you got the little on, and I guess up here would be off. So you turn it like clockwise like that to turn it on more, and then you back it out to let it come off quicker. And you got a spot right here where you turn this little piece here to open up a spot to put oil in through there. It feels like it's at least 12 or thicker, the line that's on it. Because remember, I just bought that 12-pound Trilene extra castable, and it feels like it or a little thicker. So I'm figuring this is somewhere between 12 and 15. Yeah. There ain't no star on this handle. There ain't no star on this handle. And there ain't no brakes over here that you can turn up to 5 or turn up to 10. All you got, realistically, is this one button to adjust it a little bit. And the two screws on it, these two buttons on each side, these two screws that adjust your spool tension from side to side. And your thumb is your drag. Yep. Your main drag is, and your main brakes is right here. I may do that. Just title it something like cleaning up an antique fluger, cleaning up an antique reel, or cleaning up an antique fluger reel, to try to use something I've never done before, or try to use something I've never used before, or try to do something I've never done fishing wise. You know, I may do something like that, you know, but I know I want to try to throw it and see how it does once I cleaned it, you know. But I don't know if I'm going to put the new line on it just to test it in the backyard. Like I said, I may just take out about 10 or 15 yards, cut that loose, clean it up a little, put a little test plug on there that don't have no hooks. Just chunk that out there and see how it goes. And then, if it's not complete suicide with all the bird nest backlashes, and I don't have robins trying to land on the reel, you know, while I'm out there with it, be sitting there, you know, throw out, look at it, and all of a sudden you got robins and stuff trying to land on top of the reel because they see that nice bird nest you got. They're like, man, he made us a nest, you know, and there they come flocking to it. But yeah, it should definitely be an interesting, definitely a test video should be interesting. And I think a water test, trying to throw it out and actually catch a fish on it, a reel from 1960, that would be kind of interesting. You don't see too many 1960 reels being fished at a lake, especially on a kayak. But I was telling him earlier, I got a video I just put up of where I unboxed some more stuff for my kayak and stuff that I'm going to use when I go fishing. And then I've got another video that I just put on the computer that I just shot of me putting the stuff on the kayak and getting it more ready. So I just did some more kayak mods, some more kayak upgrades and everything. I'm trying to get it ready. A good baitcaster reel is that Piscifun Torrent reel I show on my channel. You can get it for like $32. Yeah, there might definitely be some not so nice words, to say the least. That's why I want to test it in the backyard or front yard first. Because, man, if I get out there on the boat and the first test is to put it on the boat and go, and I'm actually trying to fish, yeah, I'd be a little more upset. Especially if you got a bottom lure that you only got one of, and you go to throw that out there, and you end up, and by the time you get all that undone, you done got hung on a tree or a rock, and then you break off and lose your favorite lure. You know, that's why I said I'd probably just throw, if I went to the lake, I'd probably throw something like a Carolina rig or a Texas rig, like rubber worm, with like a weedless hook guard and a bullet weight on top of it, and use that to throw it out, so that way you get a little bit of weight. No more budget guy. Epic guy RC. Epic guy RC and fishing. Yeah, I'd end the video with a epic guys and we're out. You know? That sounds like that would be what would happen. Because it would just be like, really? Really? It's only went out once without bird nesting. Yeah, laughing out loud. Dang real, yeah. Probably wouldn't be dang. Piece of mother. What the? You know, they'd probably be quite a few words y'all don't hear me say on my channel in that video. Or either there'd be a lot of this. I hate bleep. I hate beep. I hate. You know, every other word would be bleep. You know, or either if I put it all in there, I'd have to put a caution not to watch this if you didn't like cussing. Do not watch this video if you can't handle cursing. You know? Because, yeah, I'd probably get aggravated real quick if it bird nest out there on the boat while I was fishing, even more than in the backyard. The backyard is still going to probably aggravate you. Because the first one, you're going to be like, oh, my God. Yeah. Why did I even grease this thing? Why did I wipe it down? Why did I clear out the cobwebs and everything? If it was going to do this, I could have just left it the way it was and had this. You know, that's why I want to test it before I go to the trouble of putting new line on it. Because if I can't get it a little bit figured out where I can at least go. But like I said, the way it's set up without not being able to mash a button to get it to even fling out, I may have to put just a weight. Be a shelf queen. Yeah, you just mount it up set it up on a shelf or mount it on the wall at an angle, put a couple of fish pictures by it, and just look at it. You master that thing, we'd be calling you the king. I don't know about that, but y'all be like, wow, I cannot believe he got where he could throw that. He actually caught a fish with that thing. I cannot believe this. Yeah. I probably wouldn't believe it. I'd probably be like, really? It went out there? Oh, really? Bring it back in, hook a fish, and if I actually got it in, I'd be like, I caught a fish with this thing? How did that happen? You know, I'd probably be questioning it. You know? But yeah, imagine throwing out there, hooking one, and you're trying to reel it in, and he's just pulling it out as quick as you're reeling it. You know, because you got to lay your thumb up there to try to slow him down a little bit. I like the Abel Garcia Black Max 3 for $39. I saw one a couple nights ago at Walmart, or last time I was there. My thumb's bleeding. The fish was over 2 pounds. Yeah. Or here it goes. I caught a brim and look at my thumb. Yeah, that would be my luck. Catch a pound slab crappie and my thumb's bleeding from getting him in. Oh, I got you. You ain't getting away. You ain't getting away. Then you got to show it. When you get through catching him, you got to go, oh my, and just put it right up there in front of the camera. Then you got to put that warning. If you're squeamish about blood, don't watch this. Does my thumb survive the fishing trip? You know? Going fishing with a bait caster with no button. You know, does my thumb survive the trip? Yeah. Stay tuned to see. Yeah, that thing's going to be a little bit of a chore. We got it made these days with the setups we have. Yeah, definitely compared to that. I mean, I just love my spin casting reels. They're so much fun, you know, to fish with. They don't have the finesse and quite the accuracy of a bait caster if you learn a bait caster good. The Black Max is nice. The Piscifun has a fast gear ratio. That's cool. Yeah. Old vids of guys using those things. Them guys did pretty good with them. It's surprising. Yeah. What's the gear ratio on the one I have? Are you talking to fishing with pH? Because this one don't have a gear ratio on it. The Piscifun. I figured you were talking to him. Yeah, what's the gear ratio on that one? Gear ratio on that one. 3.2 to 1. 3.2 to 1, huh? But yeah, I looked at I had to go in Walmart tonight and grab some pain medicine. And oh, that was for my I went in there and grabbed some pain medicine at night, and I glanced at the fishing stuff for about 5 or 10 minutes. And they had some real nice, you know, bait caster combos and some good prices. Yeah. That 3.2 to 1. Yeah, that sounds like something would be on what I've got over here, or what you would have on a regular Zebco 202. I watched the video the other day, somebody using one that had a gear ratio like that. And he hooked a bass, and he's sitting there trying to do like he does on his bait caster to get him in quick. And he's like, oh my God, is it ever going to bring in some line? He said, the gear ratio on this thing sucks. You know. And it was one of those like 3 to 2 to 1, you know, deals. And I'm like, oh. Even my spinning reel isn't that slow. I mean, it's not a 7 to 1 to 1, but yeah, 7.1 to 1. I think it's more along the lines of 5, somewhere in that range. Most of the spinning reels I've got. I don't know I haven't even looked to see what my Silver Max is exactly. I think it's 5 something. The Black Max is 6.4 to 1, or 6 to 4 1. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah. If you're on the bank and you've got a lot of cover around you, yeah, your spinning combo is the best to go with. Unless you could step out a little bit ways into the edge of the water and take it and maybe sidearm. Hook a 20 turn 540 motor to it. That'll bring her in good. Bait cast. But I use it a lot more than my 7.5 1 Lew's Mach 2 and Mach Crush. So you use the Black Max, the Abel Garcia Black Max more than you do the Lew's. I like I think it's a real neat looking rod and reel combo. It's the orange crush one? The Orange Crush edition. I saw a new Hank Parker setup tonight. It was a nice looking speed stick, and it had like a black reel trimmed in gold. And it was a new, I forgot the name of it. It was a new Hank Parker edition. Walmart had just got in. It looked pretty cool. My Shimano SLX DC is an 8 2 to 1. Definitely pretty fast there. But yeah. So I've got another video coming up after I get it edited. Because like I said, I went out there yesterday, put all the stuff on the kayak, trying to get it ready to go to the water. But tonight I couldn't resist grabbing that rod and reel before I started the live stream. I'm like, I got to show people this. The Lew's Hank Parker IM8 rods are the best bang for the buck. $39 for a $100 rod. Cool. I'm not sure. Is that Orange Crush thing only in the States? It's actually, let's see. It's actually like a Mach Crush. It's the Lew's Mach Crush, but it's the orange. They call it like an Orange Crush edition because it has the orange and black like reel, and it has orange on the rod. The Lew's Mach Crush is orange, but I have the Dick's edition. So you could get it from Dick's Sporting Good and probably from Bass Pro Shop and Cabela's, places like that. You get it's called the Lew's Mach Crush, but it's in the orange color. I just call it the Orange Crush because that's what one of the guys I watched that was fishing with it, he said this is the Orange Crush because it has all the orange on it. But it's made by Lew's, and the technical name is the Lew's Mach Crush. But Orange Crush. It's orange. It's the Lew's Mach Crush, the Orange Crush. I love the centrifugal brakes. Never backlashed yet. Yeah, that's what I heard. There was a guy fishing one, and he said the centrifugal brakes. He said he never backlashes them compared to the other brakes. Who is it? 13 Fishing, who has the Day Glow green rods? Yeah, 13 Fishing. Oh. I seen a guy fishing with one, man. It was bright. That'd be good, especially like early morning when it's foggy, something like that. Bring down there and do a little bit of fishing. You can see the rod better. You know, if it's a little bit foggy, a little bit cloudy, helps you out there. You see the tip better. If you're doing any kind of bottom fishing for like catfish or anything like that. And late evening, right as it's getting dark, it'd be really good for stuff like that. "13 Fishing Black Gen 2. Those carrot sticks look cool. Lots of nice colors also. Yeah, it's super bright. Well, all right, everybody. I hate to. I'm having a blast. Been laughing my tail off tonight talking about that reel and some other things. Y'all have a great night. I really appreciate y'all tuning in. You know, it's good to have you here. I love having some of the same people back every Tuesday or at least every other Tuesday. They should make them all bright colors. Set it in the grass for a second. Yeah, and you about where'd I put my rod? Yeah. That's like buying a quad that's white and putting it up in the sky real high. You're like, okay, where'd it go? You know, I want something a different color than what the sky is. I had an orange SEMA X8, and I could see that thing way up in the sky. All right, man, everybody take care. Later, man. Again, I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all have a good one. Hey, Massive Clouds, I hope you get that adapter. If you get a chance, check out that video where I unboxed all that stuff that I got for the kayaking and everything. And then by then, I should be getting ready to put that other video up, and you can see where I put it all on the boat. Later, everybody. Peace.